So this is Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined on Seconds Out for the first time by unbeaten super lightweight Ruben Torres. How are you doing?
Doing well, man. Thanks for having me.
No, anytime. You're creating a lot of noise in the 140-pound division, so it's about time we had you on. And I guess, first of all, as it's your debut on Seconds Out, let's start from the very start. I believe you first got into boxing at the age of 9. Just tell us how that came about.
I was playing football, like Pop Warner. I was like I said, I was like 8, 9 years old, and there was a boxing gym at that park that we would have practice at, and I just noticed, the boxers would go running around. So while my practice, I'm like, silent, like kind of scoping them out, and then I seen they had hand wraps on, and I just asked my dad one time, what are they doing? No, what are they doing over there? And they just said, oh, it's a boxing gym right here. So I was like, all right, look, let's check it out. It's something just interested me. So we went, and the rest is history, man. We've been going there ever since. Or not there. The gym actually closed down like 2 weeks later, but my coach Javier Gomez, the gym closed down. So he brought all of his fighters to another gym in Santa Fe Springs. And that's where we met Danny Zamora, my manager and trainer right now. And we've been there ever since, pretty much, yeah.
What was it about boxing and your initial impressions in the gym that took you away from football and made you decide boxing was the sport for you?
I think just naturally, fighting is just in my blood, because I just grew up even in school and stuff, always kind of having little fights and whatnot. So I just naturally something about fighting is just called my name. And then I was actually better at boxing than any other sport that I played. I don't know if it was just because of the consistency, or I don't know, maybe just being in the ring and somebody trying to punch you in the face made me focus a little more. I'm not sure, but it just clicked, bro.
Now, you were a highly decorated amateur, particularly at the youth and junior levels. What made you turn pro at the age of 19? Why didn't you hang around, maybe try to get to an Olympics, that kind of thing? We've just seen the Olympics, of course.
I think I actually had stopped boxing when I was probably around 15, 16. So at that level, I was already at that level where I was, kind of separating myself from the regulars, and then the people who want to be elite and, succeed at the sport. And I just didn't really want to continue on the boxing path. I was more so concerned with, just living my life and just being a kid, because boxing takes a lot of that away from you, especially as a person, as a young man in high school, you know what I mean? So I had stopped boxing, and then I think for the most part, that's what made me not want to go the route, chasing the Olympics or continuing being an amateur standout, because once I came back, I was already 17, 18. And so I was there's only so much I could do in the amateurs. These guys are way ahead of me in that category. But as a pro, I feel like my career so far speaks for itself. You know what I mean?
Tell us now, obviously, you've got the discipline of being a professional boxer. You're training several times every day or 6 days a week, whatever it might be. Are you glad now that you took that time away from the sport as a teenager? You kind of got that fun element out of your system?
In a way, yeah. Yeah, because I feel I just feel there's nothing, I'm not missing out on anything, you know what I mean? That one FOMO, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
I feel I don't get that as much, because I know what's out there pretty much, and it just it's always gonna be there. And that's kind of one thing that I always think to myself is yeah, I'm in camp right now, or I'm sacrificing these years, but I mean that stuff, the fun stuff is always gonna be there no matter what.
Now you're moving up gradually the levels of opposition as you go through your pro career. You're 15-0, of course. Would it be fair to say that at this stage you're probably learning more in the gym in sparring than you are in the ring?
Yeah, you could say that. It's different in sparring. Depending on who you're sparring with, we've been working with some top dogs in the gym, and then come fight night, you know, you get to use some of those things that you learn in the gym. But yeah, it's not pretty, man. The training is brutal. It's not always good days. But I think it all makes it worth it come fight night.
This will be a tough question because I know you've been in with the likes of Luke Campbell, Arnold Barboza, Regis Prograis, among many others. But who's not necessarily the best you've sparred, but who have you learned the most from sparring against so far?
I would say probably my guy Arnold, man, because we just been in the ring we had I can't even tell you how many rounds we've done in the ring already. So it's just like as he's at the top of his game right now, he's getting better. So I feel like he's kind of been the one that kind of is pushing me the most, especially because of the amount of work that we've gotten in. So with Regis, I did maybe 3 sparring sessions. With Luke, it was on one. It was random too. So I would say probably Arnold because he, like I said, he's right now top 5 in the 140s, and we got him some good amount of work. So one day he'll let me land a shot, but then the next day I try to throw that same shot that was working and it's not there no more. Like he already made that little switch, you know what I mean? So probably my guy Arnold.
Now, although sparring, as you pointed out, is distinct from fighting, is there an element in your mindset that if you can handle these guys in sparring, the likes of Arnold, who's obviously doing very well at the moment, your next fight, for example, won't be, you can't say that it won't be a challenge because you can't have that thinking going into it. But if you can deal with these guys at the very top of the class, you should be okay.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you can't take anybody lightly in that ring. It just takes one punch, one shot. And that's the name of boxing. But yeah, for sure. I think what you're trying to say is do you have a certain type of confidence going into the ring, knowing that you've been in there with guys like that and you can hang with guys like that? Yeah, definitely.
What's the plan going forward for you? I read some article, I think it was towards the end of last year, where you were looking to crack into the world ratings. I had a quick check across those earlier. It doesn't look like you've quite got into the top 15s just yet. What's the plan to get you in that position?
Just be patient, man. Just be patient and keep doing my job. You know what I mean? Obviously, as I keep going, I'm already on my 16th fight coming up this Saturday. The level of competition is just gonna keep getting stiffer and stiffer. So I think just doing my part, staying ready, being disciplined and taking care of business in that ring. But also I think I need to be a little bit more not I don't want to say loud, but just let these guys that are in top 10 and be just let them know I'm here and I know I'm coming.
And Saturday, obviously, you are back out. Just tell people if they haven't watched you in action before and this is their first chance to see you, what can they expect?
Expect some fireworks. It's gonna be some good energy in that ring. Being that the fans are back. This is the first fight since the pandemic that we have a crowd. So it's some good names on that card. Some exciting fighters on that card. It's gonna be some fireworks, man, and just stay tuned because Ace is back.
And I know your family came to watch all your fights before the pandemic hit. Are they going to be back at ringside this weekend?
Oh, you know it. Yes, sir.
Great stuff. Now, before I let you go, whenever someone comes onto the channel for the first time, we always invite them to drop their social media handles, so people watching can find them and get hooked up with the journey. Right
on. Well, thanks for having me. Like I said, you can find me on Facebook at Ruben Torres. My Instagram is Ace Got It. It's ACE_GOT1T, and that's all for my social media. But you could watch the fight on ThompsonBoxing.com on Saturday, August 14th. I'm the main event, so I'll be fighting around 9:30. But the show should start around 7. They also stream it on YouTube Live. Just look up Thompson Boxing Promotions.
And those times are PT, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. We'll be tuning in and we'll look forward to seeing the next stage in your career. But let's do this again before your next fight.
All right, man. Yeah, for sure. It was great. It was great to meet you. Like I said, thanks for having me on, Danny.
Anytime. Really appreciate it, Ruben. And yeah, best of luck on Saturday.